Have you ever thought about what you should do with your super before you die? I'm going to show you some simple steps you can take right now so that you can be confident your super will end up in the right hands. Hi there, I'm Chris Strano, the founder of SUPERGUY, the place where Australians go to maximise their super and build their own retirement plan. If you're new here, make sure that you click the subscribe button and all the links related to this video. You can find the links in the description below. If you get value from this video, make sure you give it the thumbs up. It's a little act that makes a really big difference. And remember, this is general information only, and you should consider whether it's appropriate to your personal needs and circumstances before acting on it. Let's dive in. If you or someone you know is about to pass away, I've put together a few things to consider in regards to your superannuation. And this is going to cover a few things such as taxes and general estate planning, so that the people who receive your remaining super balance will hopefully pay less death taxes, and you can be more confident that your super will be received by your intended recipients. Let's dive in. So firstly, let's just make it clear that when it comes to planning how your assets will pass on to your loved ones, seeking advice from a specialist estate planning solicitor is highly recommended in all instances, but especially if there are blended families, children from previous marriages, other lovers, or even people being left out who think that they should have received a piece of the pie. So paying a solicitor now to get all of this right could save plenty of money once you've moved on to the other side, if your loved ones begin to bicker between themselves, which we all know can often get messy and expensive. So with that in mind, let's continue. Okay, so the first thing we're going to cover is death benefits tax. Basically, death benefits tax goes like this. Your super balance consists of both taxable and tax-free components, maybe even just one or the other. The tax-free component portion will always be paid to your preferred beneficiaries tax-free, regardless who it is. However, the taxable component will incur death benefits tax of 15% if it is paid to a person defined as a non-tax dependent, such as a child aged 18 or over. If it's paid to a tax dependent such as a child under 18 or a spouse, then no tax is payable when paid as a lump sum. Unfortunately, you can't say that you would like the taxable component paid to tax dependents and the tax-free component paid to non-tax dependents. All payments must be proportionate from each component. So how can you avoid this death benefits tax? Well, I guess the simplest way is to not have any super balance on the day that you pass away. If possible, you could withdraw the balance the day, the week, or the month before you pass. Many of us obviously won't have the knowledge of when we will pass away, but if you do, then this can eliminate death benefits tax. The downside of this is that you don't get the tax concessions on investment earnings that are associated with superannuation from the date that you withdraw your super until the date that you pass away. Alternatively, if you're eligible to both access your super and contribute to super, you might consider a withdrawal and recontribution strategy. And a recontribution strategy is where you withdraw all or some of your super balance and then immediately contribute it back into super as a non-concessional contribution. And this converts the taxable components into tax-free components and therefore reduces or even eliminates death benefits tax that would otherwise be paid to a non-tax dependent. Does that make sense? All right, moving on. Let's talk now about what a death benefit nomination is. When we decide who's going to receive our assets when we pass away, we create a will. However, superannuation is not covered under a will. In order to direct who will receive your super, you might consider completing a death benefit nomination or a superannuation death benefit nomination. All super funds offer the ability to complete a death benefit nomination, which is usually a one-page form where you nominate who you would like to receive your super if you were to pass away and what percentage of your balance will go to each person. It's as simple as that. Remembering though that you can only leave your super to a person defined as a superannuation dependent, which is different to a person defined as a tax dependent. A super dependent includes a spouse, a child of any age, or someone in an interdependency relationship with you, or your legal personal representative, which we'll come to in a moment. Your super fund may offer a few different types of death benefit nominations, such as a binding or a non-binding nomination. A binding nomination means that your super fund must pay the balance exactly as per your directive, provided the people in your directive are super dependents. So even if there's been changes to your relationship with that person or those people since you completed the death benefit nomination, they still must pay it to those people. Whereas a non-binding nomination allows your super fund to consider the nominated people, but they retain ultimate discretion in case things have changed since you originally submitted the form. So basically, a binding nomination provides greater certainty, and a non-binding nomination provides greater flexibility. Some super funds may offer one or both of these types of nominations, and some will require the binding nomination to be updated every few years. You can nominate one or more people in death benefit nominations. It's up to you. If one or more people that you have nominated as a beneficiary predecease you or are no longer a superannuation dependent under the definition, then it will likely invalidate the nomination. If you would prefer, you don't need to nominate one or more people to be beneficiaries. You can in fact nominate your legal personal representative, as I alluded to earlier, which is basically the person responsible for distributing your estate via your will upon your death. This legal personal representative then adds your super to all of your other non-super assets and distributes it in accordance with your will. But this does not mean it gets around death benefits tax. Any taxable portion of your super paid to a non-tax dependent will still incur death benefits tax. A less common way of passing your remaining super on to a loved one, particularly a spouse, is by way of a reversionary pension. So if you have a superannuation income stream in place and it is a reversionary pension, it will automatically revert or become the pension of the person you have nominated as a reversionary beneficiary. So it automatically becomes their pension on the day that you pass away, meaning that your super does not leave the superannuation environment or does not need to be paid out as a lump sum. It simply continues on as if nothing happened, albeit being paid to a different person. This is beneficial because it can avoid estate planning costs and complexities, it can minimize challenges by other people, and continue to benefit from the tax concessions associated with superannuation. If you currently have an income stream that is not a reversionary pension and you would like one, you can contact your super fund to see if it can easily be converted into a reversionary pension without any other implications. The other thing you might want to look at are insurances within your super. If you have life insurance cover within your super and you pass away, the insurance proceeds will be added to your super balance and the combined amount will be paid out as a death benefit to your beneficiaries. And insurances could potentially be a large amount, so you want to make sure that your super is going to the right people in the most tax effective manner. Look, I haven't gone into a lot of detail with each of these considerations, but the intention was just to give you a broad overview of the things to consider. My other videos will go into more detail about super death benefits tax, reversionary pensions, withdrawal and recontribution strategies and all of that. But this just gives a starting point of some things to consider. So hopefully these areas, death taxes, death benefit nominations, reversionary pensions, and how insurance proceeds within super are dealt with, makes a little more sense now so that you can organise your affairs before you pass away. Now, you can arrange all of this yourself, but I can assure you professional financial advice, legal advice, and tax advice is extremely valuable when it comes to organising your estate plan. Also, even if you're fit as a fiddle, it's never too early to develop your estate plan. So there you have it. Get your super organised right now so that you can rest easy. If you've learned something new from this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. If you want more exclusive superannuation tips, head over to superguy.com.au and sign up to my newsletter for free. We also have plenty more videos on superannuation and retirement planning in the SUPERGUY Hub, including stacks of tutorials, our superannuation strategies and case studies to help you boost your super and plan your retirement. Go to superguyhub.com.au. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.